Meeting to order, the Board of Commissioners at 9:01 a.m.
Winfrey,
Yes, here.
Ellenberg,
Here.
Lennon,
Present.
Avery,
Present.
Shoemaker,
Present.
Davis,
Present.
Newman,
Here.
Pepin.
Here.
All right, that'll take us on to invocation. This week's invocation will be led from Commissioner Sean Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The gentleman I've selected to do our invocation church, you will also see him if you come on the right Sunday, sitting in with the band playing drums. He's quite the accomplished drummer. I had asked this gentleman because he has always been a supporter of positive thinking and I think, a valued member of our county. And I am blessed enough, even though he sits in the opposite aisle of me, to enjoy fellowship with him and support from him, even though we will disagree at times. And I would like to introduce Chris Swanson, please.
Thank you, and I'm playing the drums September 18th. If you'd stand so we can do the invocation. Father, we lift up this Board of Commissioners, Nolden, Winfrey, Ellenberg, Clemens, Avery, Pepin, Newman, and Davis, and Shoemaker, and for Josh, and all that worked behind the scenes to get this board what they need to pour into this community. Give them that compassion that got them to where they are right now. For those that are watching, those that are listening, whatever struggles they have, I pray that this day is a day they have breakthroughs. For the co-elects behind me, those that are watching, for the staffers, for the department heads, Lord, this is the people's business. Let us do our job and do it with honor and do it to the glory of you and for the people that need it most. And thank you for this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is the approval of our draft minutes from the August 17th
Support.
meeting. It has been moved and supported. Is there any discussion or changes to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from August 17th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? The minutes are adopted. At this time, we'll move into a public hearing for the matter of the proposed fiscal year 22-2023 budget. At this point, any member of the public that wishes to address the board concerning the 2022-23 fiscal year budget, you'll have 2 minutes to do so. Is there anyone that wishes to address the board for public hearing? Public hearing on the budget going twice. Public hearing is now closed. That'll move us to public comment from the board, to the board. If there's any member of the public that would like to address the board on any matters, now is the time to do so. You will have 2 minutes to do as such. We ask that you state your name and city of residence, and as always, to keep your remarks professionally and no personal attacks. Is there any member of the public that wishes to address the board? Public comment going.
Good morning, everyone. Kelly Ainsworth, Greater Flint Health Coalition here in Flint, Michigan. I just wanted to thank Commissioner Clemens for coming to the Opioid Prevention Provider Forum that we hosted last Thursday. As you know, the Health Coalition has been working through its Mental Health and Substance Use Task Force. I was here presenting, I don't know, maybe a few months ago to the group about the opioid settlement dollars and the look that we're taking at that and how they can be allocated appropriately. So I wanted to thank you for attending that and extend an offer to all commissioners to attend our next opioid prevention or our opioid treatment provider forum. That will be this Thursday, so tomorrow afternoon. This is a closed meeting, so I'm not going to share the location and the time publicly, but I would like to extend the offer to you. After this meeting, I'll connect with you on the time and place. Commissioner Clemens already has that information, but this is a chance for all the commissioners and all key stakeholders for the settlement dollars to really meet their providers in the community that have a handle on prevention, treatment, recovery, harm reduction services. The idea is that you can understand what exists so we can look at what is needed, what are the gaps, barriers, how can we help people the way that these settlement dollars were intended. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public wishing to address the board? Any other public comment? Public comment is now closed. That'll move us on to communications. Item 1 is an emergency purchase of masonry work at the Genesee County's historic Crossroads Village.
Move it.
Mr. Chair, item number 1 and number 3 are both on file in our office. There's no action required on either one of those.
And item number 3, for the record, is a Health Department emergency purchase request. Item number 2 under communications is an update from Treasurer Deb Cherry on the Tax Navigator program. Invite her and her team to come up.
Good morning. Commissioner Shoemaker, I want you to know that I sat in a regular chair today. Finally.
I got used to you sitting next to me.
I know. But finally, I've had my hip surgery, and while I still have a cane, I'm getting better. So I just wanted to give everybody thanks. At any rate, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for your support of ARPA funds for our program in the Treasurer's Office to help initially and right now with the Pay-As-You-Stay program. And we have 2 staff people here who work on that program, and they're going to explain it quickly. In addition, as we go forward, we're going to be adding what we think are going to be more programs to help people with their taxes, and we appreciate your support along the way. So today, Kendra Love and Larry Smith, I'm going to turn it over to them, and they're going to talk about the Pay-As-You-Stay program and the people they've been helping. Thank you. Go ahead, guys. There's 2 mics there, so both of them work, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kendra Love. We launched the Pay As You Stay program earlier this year. We started signing up the first participants in February. That allows us to put the individuals on a payment plan for up to 36 months. We get to reduce the interest, penalties, and fees on their taxes, and they have a set amount to pay each month without an uptick. Or the other option is 10% of the taxable value with the assessments from the local area. When we first started, we had 3 locals that participated, and now we have a total of 15 locals, cities and townships that have chosen to participate. We seen an uptick in poverty exemptions because that is a requirement to participate in the program. And right now, we have 5 individuals who have successfully completed it before the 36 months that are up, and so they are current with their taxes.
In addition to those people who are current with their taxes, what we've been doing is we've been going out into the community. Excuse me, my name is Larry Smith. I'm also a tax navigator like Kendra. We've been going out into the community and we've been promoting the program to people in the community, trying to get them to sign up, helping them through the process, encouraging them to get the poverty exemptions, because there are people in the community who are eligible for the program or who would be eligible for the program, but they don't have the required exemption. So we've been explaining to them how to go to their local units, to their local communities to get the proper paperwork in order to meet the requirements for the program so that they can get approved and ensure that they can get the help that they need.
It's a great program. How many people have you helped to date? Do you by chance have that?
The last number, we just signed up a few more people within the last few weeks, but prior to that, it was
48.
Yeah, 48 people.
48.
So we're over 50 now, 50
And that's
participants.
from across the county, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Sound good? Okay, thank you.
Again, I just want to say thanks. The addition of Kendra and Larry to our staff has been extremely helpful in trying to make sure that people get help. Because as you know, in addition to what they're doing, we've also extended foreclosures to over 1,000 people. I want to say almost 2,000 people. So that's an addition. This program is in addition to that. And we're looking at right now, seeing if we can work something out with probate court to help people whose ownership is not quite, it's not settled. And so that causes problems in this whole process, and we want to try and figure out a way to help them out so that they don't wind up in foreclosure and lose a house for a family.
One more question. This is just for home ownership. This is not for people that may own businesses or may own,
It's only for
Commercial
home
property.
ownership, right?
Okay.
And this program, by law, that's what it has to be.
okay.
The other programs, we do help businesses if they're operating.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Few words?
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners, and thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to formally introduce our new Senior Associate Corporation Counsel, Ashley Prue, sitting in the first row there. I know many of you know her. She joins Brian, Angela, and me in the Corporation Counsel office. She comes to us with 9 years of practice in the areas of business, real estate, municipal law, zoning law, and civil litigation. She was mostly in private practice for those 9 years. She's a graduate of the Michigan State University College of Law and the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. She's also a member of the Flint Rotary Club, so I know many of you know her. We welcome her, and she's been formally appointed, and her computer's actually up and running, so she's good to go. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Go Green and welcome to Team Genesee.
Sad to say that, didn't you?
Had to do it. Next on the agenda, under Board of Commissioners, is Resolution 22-683, Adoption of Fiscal Year 2022-2023 Budget. It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to start out by saying if my voice goes, I apologize. We discussed it at the last meeting, and it seems quite a while ago that we'd had this discussion. I just wanted to make sure we'd still budgeted, $3 million in ARP dollars is still in there, so everyone's aware. I know a lot of work was done on this, but this is the fourth one I've been asked to approve as far as a budget, and we still haven't addressed the issues plaguing this county, which is long-term legacy debt. And, you know, I know it's election year, and some of us will be here, some might not, and some won't. But the fact is that we haven't really taken a stand on how we're going to handle this. You know, I think the last report we got was $650 million somewhere in there over the next 20 to 25 years. You know, our revenues have actually went up because the economy's done so well, and the housing market. But, you know, I can't support this because we still haven't carved out any money to deal with this. We have promises we made to our employees that unfortunately, at the time, I believe a lot of the commissioners, and I don't think any of you were here during this, but knew that they couldn't live up to. And now they're asking us to deal with it. And it's time that we actually have to deal with it and make some changes. And there's little things like on the budget today, like the gasoline. Guess what? This last year, we've went above $200,000, I believe what it is, plus this approval, what we've asked to fill up our vehicles. We have take-home vehicles. There's several areas and categories we could cut. And it's not that that's going to solve all of our problems, but it shows our residents that we are serious about this. So I've already been over it before. I won't continue on much longer, but I'm just a no on this because we still are unwilling to really tackle the big problem plaguing this county moving forward in the future. And if we don't, and we can have the attitude of the past boards that we'll leave it to the next board. But someday, you know, as the old saying, tax man cometh. And guess what? We're going to be taken over by the state or something else unless we deal with it. And I don't want to see it affect our staffing and our services in the future. And I am not a proponent of taxing our residents anymore, because guess what? We can't live within our means, but we expect them to live within theirs. They are not our parents, and we are not college students that we can go to every time we turn around and say, hey, I spent all my money, so now I want you to give me more. So I just want everybody to know, my constituents and the residents of the county, that I am a no on this, because we still are not willing to handle and tackle the major issue. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there any other comment or discussion? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call vote.
Yes.
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 No.
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 Yes. Yes.
By a vote of 6-3, the budget is adopted. That will move us on to Community and Economic Development. There are no items. Is there any report from the chair of the committee?
Not at this time.
Thank you. That'll move us on to Finance Committee. Gary Pepin, chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance Committee discussed these 9 issues at our committee meeting, and I would move all 9 at this time. Support.
Can we pull item 3 out of that, please?
Sure.
Is there anything else to be pulled? All right, so we'll consider items 1 and 2 and 4 through 9. Is there any discussion on those items? Seeing none, all those in favor of items 1 and 2 and 4 through 9, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Those items are adopted.
Forwarding to receive and file a copy of the paid county bills for the weeks ending 7/17, 24, and 31, and 8/0, and August the 7th, in the total amount of $15,604,704.05.
It has been moved and supported. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Nay.
The motion is adopted. Is there any report from the Finance Chair?
Yes, I would like to thank our CFO, Crystal Simpson, Accounting and Budget Manager, Christy Primo, and all the men and women who work in fiscal services, along with all the department heads and their representatives, Director of Administration Josh Freeman, Chairperson Dominique Clemens, Vice Chair Ellen Ellenberg, for their time and efforts to produce this 22-23 budget. We worked hard to preserve the services our constituents expect and deserve, while doing it in the most effective and efficient way from an expense perspective. Each year, expenses increase and our ability to increase revenue is limited. We have been able to overcome our shortages the past 2 years with ARPA funding, but Genesee County is coming to a point where we must explore additional avenues of revenue for the county or begin to cut services. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That'll move us on to Governmental Operations. Bryant Nolden, chairperson.
Yes, we've gone over each of the 3, so I'd like to move 1 through 3, please.
It's been moved and supported to move items 1 through 3. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving items 1 through 3 signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Those items are adopted. Is there any report from the chair of the committee?
None at this time.
That'll move us on to Human Services Committee. Charles Winfrey, chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I'd like to move items 1 through 4.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to move items 1 through 4. Is there any items to be pulled out? Seeing none, is there any discussion on items 1 through 4? No discussion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Those items are adopted. Is there any report from the Health and Human Services Committee?
No, thank you.
Thank you. That'll move us on to Public Works Committee. Ellen Ellenberg, chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to approve 1 through 6.
Support.
And I know I would like to pull out item 4 and anything else?
Please.
So we'll do items 1 through 3 and 5 and 6. Any discussion on those items? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving items 1 through 3 and 5 and 6, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Those items are approved. Commissioner Ellenberg.
Item 4, approval of a purchase order and various vendors for the fiscal year ending 22-23 in the amount of not to exceed $600,000 to provide for annual purchases of gasoline for the fleet, the motor pool.
It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is more of just a comment to this again. You know, we've approved, I think, $200,000 already this year to above what we increased our budget for fuel costs last year. These are the type of expenditures that we could start to do something about. There was discussion last meeting about electric, but unfortunately, we have a new building. We do not have a parking structure that is ours with it. So adding, and from what I understand, we don't have an agreement to park there. So putting plugs in for the vehicles we'd purchased won't work. On top of that, I don't know if it's going to work for our fleet, what we want to do. We need to look into other vehicles that are more energy or fuel efficient. And I urge this board to make a stand on this because they're going to keep coming to you. And then we say we're going to have to cut services, but yet this is not an individual we have to cut here. We just have to change the vehicle that people are driving. We're not laying off someone from the sheriff's department. We're not laying off someone from the prosecutor's office. We're just cutting the vehicle and changing the vehicle we buy. It's that simple. And yet, we continue on this path of saying we want to cut, and now we're saying we're going to have to cut services because guess what? We're running out of ARPA dollars because that ends in the next year, 2 years. The answer has sat in front of us so many board meetings, $100,000 here, $200,000 there. Guess what? And it starts adding up. And I urge you to actually encourage us, the chair of Public Works and myself, let's look into switching to other vehicles that will be more fuel efficient. So in the future, we can say we've done everything we can to cut and then justify what we do with our spending. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the annual purchase for gasoline, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
Nay. The motion is adopted. Is there any report from the Public Works Chair?
Not at this time.
Thank you. There's no unfinished business. Is there any new and miscellaneous business from commissioners? Seeing none, that'll move us on to our next item, closed session in the matter of Miss Mary Lazar in Hanba and Lazar PC versus Dana Hanner. I will turn it over to our Corporation Counsel.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268, allows county boards to hold closed sessions in limited instances. Under subsection 8E, you may consult with your attorney regarding trial or settlement strategy in connection with specific pending litigation. This is a workers' comp matter which qualifies as specific pending litigation.
At this time, is there a motion to move into closed session? It's been moved and supported. We will take a roll call vote to move into closed session.
Yes.
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 Davis? Yes.
Newman?
Yes.
Peppin?
Yes.
Nolden?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
By a vote of 9-0, we are moving into closed session. We'll be in the
Yeah, two here.
Did we lose a commissioner?
Commissioner Newman.
1970. Took her thing back.
That probably would have been better than.
All right, we will resume the full board at 9:40 a.m. Is there any motions to be
Mr.
made?
Chairman, I would like to follow the recommendations of Corporation Council.
Support.
There is a motion and support to follow the recommendation of our attorneys. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the recommendation, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? The motion is adopted. Seeing no further business before the board, we stand adjourned at 9:41 a.m.